Let's confess right away, we are not professional filmmakers and certainly not experts in AI video. This project is our new attempt to explore what people not coming from this field, but that have an interesting story to tell, their own artistic vision, and most importantly, curiosity and energy, so what the rest of us can create with the help of today's technology. Earlier this year, we went to listen to Stravinsky's Petrushka in our Amsterdam concert hall, and from the first notes we got a spark, an idea of a new project. Petrushka is all about Maslenitsa or Mardi Gras or Shrovetide festival, where we say goodbye to the cold months and welcome the spring by burning the straw effigy of Lady Winter. People gather together, often wearing traditional folk costumes, drinking hot beverages, eating blinis, and engaging in some funny activities, often proving who is the most strong man in town, like the king of the hill. So my idea was to merge the traditional Petrushka narratives and my own childhood memories of these festivities. And there is this entertainment where guys try to climb the tall wooden pole to get the prize hanging on its top, usually a pair of felt shoes. It looked particularly epic in real life, so I picked it up for the main scene of my screenplay. The original ballet suite music is nearly half an hour long, so I created a 4.5-minute compilation of Stravinsky's music that followed the emotional path of my story. No dialogue, no narration, just color, rhythm and movement, which somewhat corresponds with the nature of a ballet as an art form. In search for visual style of the future short movie, I collected references. Alexandre Benoit's stage sketches from 1911 original ballet, Art Nouveau illustrations and paintings of the epoch, all the Slavic folk palettes, winter dusk textures, and started shaping the visual universe of the film. My husband gave me a quick course of using some AI instruments to create visuals, and off I went. Most of the static concept images were generated in Whisk Labs by Google, searching for the right balance between theatricality and real life. Once the stills felt right, it was time to bring wheels in motion. Kling handled the wide establishing shots, hills carved with snow tunnels, carnival crowds, steam rising from samovars. Then Vio took over for close-ups and character moments, giving us the subtlety we needed for faces and gestures. We had 3 major challenges. First one came from the story itself. Maslenitsa is a festival full of children, and many image-to-video models restrict this kind of generations at all or struggle whenever kids appear in a frame. So we had to use different tools trying to keep stylistic, cinematic and quality consistency. The second challenge is working with crowds in somewhat unusual settings, so it feels natural and not staged. In fact, our first idea was to create an animation, since we talk about imaginative theatrical story. Eventually, we shifted the presentation towards more realist style, yet intentionally left the background look like exaggerated fairy tale decorations. And yes, the third one was time. Yet who doesn't have this problem, right? In our case, we welcomed our newborn right after the screenplay was ready, so the creation of the visuals was somewhat postponed and then done mainly in my early night shifts in the last 3 weeks. When the footage was ready, everything came together in Final Cut Pro. Stravinsky's music, the visual sequences, the colors and rhythm that echoed the feeling of an old folk traditions brought to life. What excites us most is not just the result, but the process. AI didn't replace creativity, it expanded what we could attempt on our own. Writers, choreographers, directors, even students of music or theater can now prototype ideas that once required an entire stage. The short film is our tiny tribute to that potential, a story born from childhood memories shaped by a century-old ballet music and animated with today's tools. And not gonna lie, I enormously enjoyed the process being a director, although I'd prefer the actors being more precise when implementing my instructions from the first take. As was told, the technology is getting there faster than we can imagine.